So you're researching Germany Masters for 2026 and you have probably already read about block account, language tests and application deadlines. Absolutely good. But here's the thing. Those are known hurdles. Today, I'm going to talk about the stuff that isn't in the official guides. The hidden traps that catch even well-prepared students completely off guard. These are the reasons students get rejected after doing everything right. And trust me, by the end of this video, you will know what 90% of the applicants never discover until it's too late. By the way, if you haven't met, I'm Saurabh. I went from being a struggling student in 2018 to a German citizen in just 6 years' time. And I have created this channel to give you the roadmap I never had. If you're ready to grow, consider subscribing and let's start today's video. Let's start with something shocking. You can have perfect GPA, perfect language scores and still will get rejected. Why? Because of academic alignment. Here's what most students don't know. German universities don't just look at your degree title. They calculate something called subject overlap. You need approximately 65 to 70% of your bachelor subjects to match master's program requirement. So to explain this with an example, suppose you studied computer science engineering. You want to apply for data science masters. Sounds logical, right? But actually, it's wrong. If your bachelor's had more focus on hardware, networking, and electronics, but the data science program needs statistics, mathematics, and programming, even with the same degree name, you could be rejected for insufficient subject alignment. This one is another killer. It's not just about subjects, it's about the credit weight. For example, in India, all subjects might seem equal, but German universities use ECTS credits. A 6-credit mathematics score weigh more than 2-credit elective. So even if you studied data structure and if it was only a 2-credit course and the university required 5 ECTS in that subject, you are short. And most students never realize this until they get rejection. If you ask what you can do, the first is get your bachelor's course syllabus and all of it. Compare exact modules with the program requirements. If there's a mismatch, look for bridging courses or preparatory programs. Some universities offer conditional admission if you are close but not perfectly matching. This one is critical. You got admission to a German university? Well, congratulations. You think you are done, right? But actually no, not that fast. When you apply for your student visa, German embassies check something called the Anabin Database. This is a classification system that rates foreign and German universities. Universities are rated H+, fully recognized, that means you are safe. H+-, that means partially recognized and you are in the danger zone. H-, which is not recognized, which will implies that visa rejection is guaranteed. And here's the trap. Many private German universities that accept students easily are rated H- or H+- in Anabin. They are happily giving you admission because they need students and your money. But when you go for your visa, it gets rejected. Why? Because visa officers check, is this university state accredited one? Is this a serious academic program or just a shortcut to enter Germany? A real case. A student got admission for a bachelor's in photography and new media at a private university. His visa got rejected. And the embassy's reasoning was no academic connection to previous education, private university with low credibility, and a questionable study intentions. What you can do to avoid this? Before accepting any admission, check Anabin Database yourself. Look for your university if it's H+ or not. If it's a private university, double check if it states accredited. Public universities are almost always H+ rated. They are the safest bet. So don't let consultancies push you towards easy admission private university. This one catches highly qualified people. You would think having multiple degrees would help you, right? But in Germany, it can destroy your visa application. The problem? If you already have a master's degree and you're applying for another master's in Germany, visa officers immediately think, why aren't you applying for a PhD? Are you just desperate to enter Germany? Is this really about education or immigration? The same logic applies to 2 bachelor's degree, switching to completely unrelated field or downgrading from a higher qualification. To explain this with example, you have an MBA, but you're applying for a MS in data science. On paper, it sounds like a career advancement, but to a visa officer, it looks suspicious. How you can handle all this? First, the motivation letter is critical. You must justify why you need this specific degree. show how it fits your career progression, and provide evidence like work experience in the new field, projects, certifications, etc. Documentation is the key. Work experience letter showing you worked in the field, professional certification in the area, and a clear logical career roadmap. The next would be don't hide your previous degree. Trying to hide a previous master's degree is worst you can do. Be transparent and explain the logic. The bottom line is you can do a second master's, but you need an airtight narrative. Everyone says prepare for visa interview, but they don't tell you what actually is being evaluated. So here I present 5 hidden tests. The first one, the German knowledge test, even for English programs. Even if your program is in English, if your visa officers ask you something in basic German and you just completely freeze, this is a red flag. They are checking, can this person survive in Germany? The minimum you would need is to be able to introduce yourself, understand basic questions, show you have made some effort to learn German. The second one is the city or university knowledge test. If you can't name the city where your university is, basic fact about the university, where you will live, how you will commute, it all signals you haven't done research, which implies you're not serious and leading to possible rejection. The next is the return intent. Here, they are checking if you plan to immigrate illegally and signals that will help you, specific post-study plans in your home country, family ties like job waiting, family business, etc. And a clear career trajectory showing Germany is just a stepping stone, and signals that will hurt your visa application, vague answers about the future, no mentions of returning home, and the dialogues like, I will see what opportunities come up. Consistency check. Your SOP says one thing, your interviews say another. Result, instant rejection. For example, your SOP says, I want to work in automotive AI. In the interview, you say, I'm interested in finance technology. Inconsistent answer, which means you are dishonest. Result, rejected. Next is the stress test. They might ask you something in German, even if your program is in English. They might question your university choice harshly. Here, they are checking if you get defensive, angry, or confused. So, stay calm, answer honestly, and don't get emotional. And here comes the biggest interview killer. Not being able to explain why this specific program at this specific university. Generic answers like Germany has good education. What you actually need to say, TU Munich's AI program has specialization in robotic vision under Professor XYZ, which directly aligns with my bachelor's project on autonomous system. So listen, Germany is an incredible place to study, but these unseen hurdles, they are the difference between students who make it and the students who get rejected despite doing everything right. The key takeaways for you: check subject alignment and ECTS credits carefully. Verify your university on Anabin before accepting admission. If you have a second degree, build an airtight explanation. Prepare for a real interview test, not just the obvious ones. And if this video helped you, hit that subscribe button, drop your questions in the comments. I will read and reply each single one of them. And remember, knowing these hidden obstacles is just your competitive advantage. Thank you for watching. Tschüss.